Hello, my name is Dr. Nicholas Shaw, more commonly known as Nikki. I am speaking today on behalf of myself and my two undergraduate research assistants, Sarah from Social Work and Mohammed from Computer Science. Our study is called Digital Assistive Technologies to Support Remote Working by the Disabled, a scoping review. This study was funded by the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, SHRC, and the Government of Canada's Future Skills Programme, for which we are truly thankful. This study came about due to my personal experience. Along with the rest of the world, I was sent home to work in the spring of 2020 due to the advent of COVID. However, I fairly quickly realised that working remotely was actually easier for me than working in person in some specific areas. I'm deaf and totally rely on speech reading, with a little hearing boosted with hearing aids. I'm also supported by a service dog. Previously in meetings, I would have a hard time keeping eye contact with people's faces. Especially in a large class or meeting, people would often be obscured by somebody else. Yet when we moved online, I could see everybody's faces, as long as they kept their cameras on. But even if they didn't, I could use the live captioning services to know what was being said. So it occurred to me that with the now extensive use of digital assistive technologies and their rapid advancement, the people with disabilities could now come to the same table as others in their search for employment. No longer can companies claim that it is an undue hardship to accommodate people with disabilities, when they have just accommodated an entire workforce with no forethought or planning. As a result, I wanted to know what was known about the use of digital assistive technologies to support remote working by people with disabilities. A quick search later, and I found there didn't seem to be a lot of relevant material, and therefore the idea of a scoping review came about. Our research question was, how does digital assistive technologies address barriers to the labour market for people with disabilities? The study was developed with 4 primary objectives, stated on this poster. In order to accomplish this, I needed help. I was able to hire the 2 research assistants already mentioned. However, I felt strongly that we needed more support, so we established a knowledge user group with members initially from across Canada. The first meeting was held to help us identify the literature, and the second was held to look at the first draft of the final report. Our initial searches resulted in 212 articles. After removing duplicates and articles that didn't meet criteria, we were left with 41 articles in our scoping review. From this analysis, 7 key themes were identified. From those 7 themes, 3 key findings were identified, and from the themes and the key findings, 10 implications for policy, practice and research were identified. The full report that describes all these in detail can be found on the Algoma University website at the URL on the screen. However, this was only half of our study. The second half is now underway. The second half of our study is the development of a public-facing online searchable database of digital assistive technologies. In order to accomplish this, I've brought on new collaborators, Kevin Vincent from the University of Western Australia and 4 third-year nursing students from our local college who are undertaking community research placements with me. The database is currently in the development and prototype phase. We intend to build a site that is fully searchable but also fully accessible by people with disabilities. We plan to release the site in November 21. Nothing about us without us is a campaign slogan from Poland in 1505. However, today it is most often used by disability advocacy groups, the point being that to develop something for people with disabilities, they need to be included in all stages. At this time we have 2 deaf members of the study team, a paralysed user and a blind user in England, and another blind user in Australia. Moving forwards, we fully intend to include more people with disabilities. Thank you for your time.